And we're back with the last hour of this week's A Song of Tara. And our sad and sorry pack have just located the
sad and sorry remains.
Sad and sorry remains of their packmate Shiva, who has gone and gotten herself a very severe case of death.
In a sad and sorry way.
In a sad and sorry way, yes.
At least she got some morbid jokes in.
You did.
Yeah.
I should have spoken to her before. I should have saved up my speaking to her. I should have done it beforehand. Oh well. But yeah, so now I assume that means that, well, unless something is planned for the rest of the session, Shiva's former player is kind of stuck, sat out.
Well, we have plans, but it might not work until next time. But we will see. For now, at least. The hawk that you spoke to before, Taryn, lands in the nearest tree, the one that has a chunk taken out of it. I said, yes, that's the one. Oh, she's broken.
Taryn just jerks her head up, looks up at the hawk. But she didn't come here last night.
Yes, she did.
She came with us.
No. She came alone. Then she met two people. And I don't know. People. Two legs. One was lumpy, the other one wasn't.
This is going to be interesting because all the others can hear is yip yip yip, because Taryn is in spirit speeching with the hawk in lupus form.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think while Taryn has the conversation with the hawk, Liam will report what he's noticed. Basically the same thing, that there were three.
They had two legs. What did they look like?
One was lumpy and the other one wasn't.
Lumpy?
Yes.
Like half broken?
No, like lumpy, like you, or like that one over there. The hawk says and gestures with its head towards Fenna.
So in small.
And the other one wasn't lumpy, like that one over there. It says and gestures towards Liam.
Were they male or female?
Is that what it is? I thought you could see that on their feathers.
For a second, even though Taryn is really, really sad, she looks dumbstruck, like, duh. So they had stuff on their chest.
Yeah, but
hadn't.
Only one of them had. The other one had stuff on their back. That's why I was saying about feathers. I was pretty sure that you could tell from their feathers, but the one with feathers didn't have, they were just, well, I couldn't tell if it was a male or a female.
One of them had wings, you say?
Yes.
Were they black?
Yeah, I think so. It was dark.
Taryn starts growling. The female, did she bleed? Did she have things in the head?
Things in her head, you mean like eyes?
No, as in she had scars.
What's that?
Taryn shows her one of her own scars.
No,
turning into a hermit and then actually showing her arm.
I didn't notice. I wasn't kind of not looking at that. I was looking at all the bits and pieces that flew all over the place.
Taryn drags her sleeve back down, then kneels beside Shiva. Now she can't hide the tears anymore, though.
It was really weird.
How?
She didn't fight.
She didn't?
She just seemed to sort of... I mean, when I try to catch a mouse, the mouse runs away.
She didn't?
No. And if I try to catch I don't know, something bigger than a mouse, it might try to kick me or something.
Did they say something to her? Did she say something?
Yeah, they spoke. I don't speak two-leg speak.
Oh. Taryn just dumps down beside her. Thank you, Hawk.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile,
you look like you're hungry. Do you want a mouse?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Okay. He preens his feathers a little.
But
Clearly,
thank you.
clearly completely unaware that he's just told you something horrible.
Yeah, but thank you. Thank you for the offer. She just looks up at the others, opens her mouth, closes it again, shakes her head, then opens her mouth again. Do you want the truth, or do you want me to mollycoddle you?
Truth, always.
by the way, I just want to mention that after Liam shared what he had observed, Fenna started she pulled herself together and started sniffing around for any scents.
You get several scents.
Taryn carefully puts a hand on her cheek. The dead one's cheek. The broken one's cheek.
Yes.
I am the broken one.
Oh, that was weird.
That was surprisingly morbid.
Yes.
She forgets her last saying.
Yes.
The last words. I am the broken one.
That reminds me a little bit of Bishop from Aliens. Anyway,
Well,
sorry.
The hawk says that he saw Shiva and then two lumpy ones showed up. Meaning a man and a woman. And they started murderizing her. One of them had wings and they were black.
Asriel.
Here's the kicker though. Shiva didn't even fight them.
That doesn't surprise me. I think she was falling.
She was sliding down the same road I was going down.
And this when she crossed it. She crossed that point you pulled back from. Oh, Shiva.
So I'm guessing it's Asriel and his little beast.
And if Asriel is killing our own...
Go on.
I thought I was being shushed.
There was definitely some sort of sound. Anyway, Fenna snarls.
That was me opening the bottle and sorry.
Oh.
Oh, I got it. Lovely. Okay. That angelic wannabe is killing our own and messing with our friends. Just another enemy to add to the pile, I suppose.
Can you find anything, Fenna?
She changes back into a hermit. She's been in lupus while sniffing.
Mm-hmm.
I get several scents, but what are our priorities here?
We should find Raven.
So the scents don't matter for now.
Well, if you recognize them, it would be easier, you know, so when we come back.
I'll remember.
Carefully gets back up.
You know, I'm good with scents.
We push on. The Ken has to take priority, as much as I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
Bye, Shiva.
What do we do with her? Do we want to... Can we even bury her, give her rights down here?
I guess if we go into lupus, we could dig a pretty big hole in no time and bury her there. We could pick her up after.
Ideally, we'd give her father some closure, but he shouldn't see her like this.
No. I'm starting to understand why normal people and most kinfolk never find out what happened to their children. No one wants to see this.
Do we bury her on this level, or do we go back out?
We shouldn't really go back and forth all the time.
So here.
Tempt fate and we end up getting caught somewhere.
We do it here then, by the tree. It's a good enough marker.
Taryn goes, Lupus and just starts digging. Near the tree, I mean.
Mm.
Finna goes Kreenus and starts digging.
Mm-hmm.
He's more efficient.
Taryn gives Spinner the "why you always one-upping me" face.
Because you
Talius,
choose inefficient ways. Suboptimal.
yeah.
Shut up, you're stupid.
Taliesin, from under his jacket, prepares his Remington.
Yep.
Looks to Liam and says, "Just keep watch while they do this. Don't want anything jumping us."
I agree. And so they do.
Yep.
Yes,
And
we
so
do.
you bury her. Right. I'm tempted to say, and what next?
We continue on.
You carry on.
To the moon bridge. Moon
Yes,
path.
Indeed. You continue down the moon path. And that is a strange experience because you are obviously walking along this path, and you as I said, once you are on it, it is far more easy to see it. And after you've walked along this path for maybe a few hundred meters, maybe half a kilometer, you are not actually sure how far you've walked. You begin to realize that everything around you is becoming increasingly difficult to see clearly, while the path that you are on it takes up your entire field of vision. It's bright. It's very, very clear where the path that you're standing on, but everything around it is becoming very, very unclear.
A quote springs to mind. In fact, I think Taliesin, being inspired to quotes, will probably say this out loud as things start getting weirder.
Yeah.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
Yes, that is actually a good quote for the occasion. What's it called? Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Lewis Carroll. All right. Well, here's the thing. You walk along this path, and the path, as I said, it's literally in the river. You are walking on this silvery water at first, and then it turns from what is it called? From this path, and after a while you find yourself standing in somewhere very different. Very different.
And we didn't even have to moonwalk.
Yep, true. Ha ha. It's a very strange place that you find yourself in. Suddenly, you come off the path very suddenly, and the path behind you is gone for now, at least. But you are standing on a cliff. It's dark. You have, because of the way this that you can kind of tell from the sounds, you are underground, and there's a raging river nearby.
Well, I guess that river is something that might poke some curiosity.
Yeah, that's why I've been rolling.
Well, she hadn't mentioned the river yet. What's the roll for curiosity again, Aya?
Wits.
Just wits. Okay.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Terran's ears are all the way up, still in Lupus, but because that's easier running around in here in Lupus. At least she thinks so. Looking around, and then she starts walking forward.
I think Finna goes into Lupus again too, because it's also easier to stay alert in Lupus.
Yep. There are a hell lot of advantages of being in Lupus when you're in a wild place.
Yeah.
I think Liam will do the same.
Oh, what does he look like?
Join us!
Is he a pretty pooch?
Well,
He is.
yeah.
He's a black wolf.
Aww, like Aaron.
No, he's not as black as Aaron, because only... What are they called again? Shadow Dancers?
Shadow
What?
Lords.
Shadow Lords.
Shadow Lords get that black.
Well, mesdames and messieurs, you, as I said, you can hear this raging river somewhere. Your eyes slowly start to get used to the darkness here, and you can see movement in the darkness, far away, admittedly, but you can see movement in the darkness.
Taryn starts rummaging around in her backpack.
Yeah?
Of course, using her muscle, but she's getting good at that. She's
Yep.
a glasswalker in Lupus.
Yep.
She then finds a nice little, what I call torch.
Yep.
Turns it on, pulls it in her muscle, swings her back over her neck, and then starts walking. She now has a headlight.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
That's why you bring technologically inclined werewolves.
So wherever she looks, there's no light.
Yes. The as I said, it's everything. You're standing on rock. It's black, almost obsidian like rock that you're standing on. It's there's you all have this feeling of all the little hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
Yeah, Taliesin definitely. He stayed in Homid. He raises up his shotgun and takes and keeps moving while aiming down the sights.
Yep. Well,
Can we get a sense of where it's coming from?
all around you, there's it's the unpleasant feeling is omnipresent. The sound of the raging river is literally from underneath your feet and from off to the right and from further ahead, and it's you know it's a very it's actually a very confusing situation at first. But as you move slowly, you see a couple of figures. They're far away still, or reasonably far away, but you can see them due to the flashlight on the torch, and they look at a distance. They look like Guru in Krenos, except they are larger even than Krenos normally are, and they are entirely hairless. And they are both leaning on a long spear.
Each or between them?
Each of well, they each have one.
Okay. Interesting.
Taryn slows down. And then just slowly, motioning to go around them, as in, I'm not going to talk with them.
Yeah, Tally follows slowly and keeps an eye out around, aside from them.
Are we like stealthing or just making a big curve around them?
Big curve around them. At least Taryn is. They are pretty sure we're here because I'm wearing something very flashy.
Oh, yeah. They just... Yeah, okay.
They follow all of you with they have closed eyes, but they are clearly following you with their heads, like they're listening for you as you move.
Taryn wanted to yip or something, but she has a flashlight in her mouth, so he just forward. You don't follow us.
Well, you move further along.
Yeah.
And you find a path leading slightly downwards, in amongst some more cliff formations. It seems to be the only way forward from here.
Well, onwards,
downwards.
Yep.
You go. You follow the path. As you do so, you eventually turn a corner, and you are literally like five paces away from another 3 of these hairless, spear-armed monstrosities.
But they don't seem like they're gonna murderize us.
No, they follow you with their heads. They have closed eyes. They follow you with their heads. They don't actually say or do anything.
So basically, they're just like, we're on guard here. Someone went by. Well, hello there, kinda-ish.
Pretty much. They're sentries, it looks like.
Doop.
Well, as long as they don't intend to harm us, we might as well just continue onward.
Yep.
They step aside for you as you want to walk past them.
Okay, now you're being cruel. Curiosity again.
So yeah, once it becomes clear that they're moving, that they actually seem.
It's the only way forward, basically. So they have to move unless you want to go literally through them.
Okay, yeah, no.
You're making this increasingly difficult to resist.
But no,
I think an 8 is enough to resist.
I'd say that.
I set mine to an 8, but I got a 9, so it's just like, it's moving. Okay, I'm curious now. Ooh.
Chris, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that as soon as it becomes clear that these hairless sentries are letting us pass, as long as we don't seem to interfere with them, that's the moment when Taliesin actually lowers the gun and holds it in a position where holds it in the kind of the safe position you do with a gun if you put down into to his left, so that if it for some magical reason discharges, it won't harm anyone.
Yes.
And it is the Umbra. Let's face it, it could.
They all as you do that, they all open their eyes at the same time. You realize that there are that they don't actually have eyeballs. They literally have living flames in their eye sockets that are licking up over their faces.
Okay, this time she completely failed it. Taryn just stops in her tracks. And then slowly walks up to them.
Taryn.
Yeah.
Spits out a flashlight.
Suit.
Guys,
yeah.
We might want to not disturb them or anything. I think it'd be best if we just continued onward.
What are you? Says Finna in the Garou language.
That was what
They all
yipped.
they all answer in perfect pitch and at the exact same time, so it sounds like you have like a multi-tonal voice, three voices speaking as one. And they say, "We are the brood."
Is there any chance that any of us have heard of something called the brood?
No, these are this is obscure.
You are
What's that?
the food.
We guard this place.
What is this place?
This is where all Garou come to have their sins purged. This is Erebus.
Oh, you took a wrong
Terry
turn
gets
there.
very big eyes and then looks at Finn and starts jumping. Ooh, 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 we found it!
You say we found it. This isn't where we were going, was it?
No?
Erebus leads to all places.
Is this also the way to Pangea then?
If you wish.
Ooh, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Are there other ways to Pangea?
Possibly. We do not know.
Is it something everyone understands in this group?
Yes, they speak the Garou language. They don't speak spirit speech. They aren't spirits. They're real beings. As I said, they aren't spirits. They're real beings. So yeah.
Yeah. So Taryn is still completely. We found something interesting. It's pretty clear because its tail won't stop wagging.
Wolves don't wag their tails, I think.
They don't.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I think
just
so.
it could just be Taryn doing it because she feels that's the right thing to do.
She has so much excitement right now that something needs to move. So basically, it's her entire bottom.
I don't know,
I
maybe
shall
they
look it
do,
up.
but they don't lift their tails the way dogs do.
Enter and be purged.
Okay. Well, guys, let's go to.
I'm not sure I'm ready to be purged. Where will my humor go?
Taryn just looks at her very long.
The way out is past Kairos. No one leaves unless Kairos says so.
Wait.
To
When?
leave without Kairos' permission is to anger Kerberos.
The Dark Dog to Hell?
Kerberos
Hades.
guards the exit from Erebus.
Okay, there's a lot of things they didn't really teach me in school then. Fucking bastards didn't get it right.
Enter and be purged. The river awaits.
Taryn turns and walks back to the others, picks up the torch. Well, now in Homid. By the way, that is why she can talk. Well, Winter only spent, what, a couple of 1,000 years in there?
What choice to... Yeah, let's go.
Are you seriously gonna do this?
It's the way forward.
What she said.
Well, Winter was a Black Spiral Dancer before, right?
She had a lot to be purged up, yes.
Okay, so maybe it won't be a few thousand years for us.
No?
Probably not, but it is a river of silver. Oh.
It's gonna hurt like fuck.
See it as a very, very deep scrub? Taryn starts walking.
Yeah.
Right?
We enter.
You
We enter to be purged.
You walk past the three guards and enter, and yes, you do in fact come upon a river, probably a couple of 100 meters wide,
Wow.
Fuck.
flowing, raging wild, like it's not like a quiet babbling brook. It's a raging stream. It's a full-blown whitewater river, except in this case it would be white silver, wouldn't it? Seeing as it's made entirely of silver.
That means if it's that
where winter came out.
Must be. Sorry to interrupt. Out of character, if it's that raging, it means that surely there's flecks of water/silver spray, so he might occasionally get stung by something.
Yeah, but it hurts as bad as silver always hurts. Physically, it leaves that kind of pain, but it also heals you instantly for the same amount as the damage it does. So you get the excruciating pain and none of the damage.
Mm.
You see shapes in the river. You see Garou in the river, flailing around, in absolute agony.
Yeah.
Anna has her tail between her legs.
Taliesin is looking at the river with a very with an obsessive glint in his eye.
One of these great...
Sarah looks around. Can we see exits? This is the way you go to meet Cabarrus.
You can't see an exit except the one that you just came through. One of the brood, not one of the ones you just walked past, but another one walks up to you and walks up to Taliesin, seeing as he's standing there looking at the river with determination on his face.
Mm-hmm.
This thing stands next to you and looks at you with these flaming eyes.
I turn to look at it.
What is your sin?
Turns around and looks up. What?
My sin is impotent rage. My sin is failure to speak where words were needed. To protect those who needed protection.
So yours is a failure of action and a failure of inaction.
That is how I see it.
Have you breached the litany?
I'm thinking about it. I'm just going to quickly check the litany.
That's a good idea.
No.
Have I ever breached the litany?
Yeah.
Wasn't there that time where you almost revealed something to someone but then didn't, or something?
Basically, I did technically inform someone of. We informed Fina of the truth of our situation. She was kinfolk, but we did risk lifting the veil.
Yep.
So that is my sin. That is a litany violation that Talia is responsible for, or at least him and Taryn are both responsible for.
Right.
So yes, I say to the beast, my actions assisted in risking the lifting of the veil.
Your sin is great. Talius and Blevins enter the river and be purged.
Taliesin puts down his shotgun, unshoulders his bag, strips down to his tighty whities.
Yes.
He's not going to go all the way.
No.
And moves to walk in.
Yeah, Taryn stops him and puts down her stuff. I was the reason you did it. I'll walk with you.
I would be honored.
She just takes his hand.
Yeah.
Come on.
What is your sin?
I lifted the veil. Someone I didn't know what can cook.
And you did change into a werewolf in front of a lot of party-goers.
Yes.
There are multiple accounts of the veil being lifted.
It costs delirium, though. Does that really count?
It would. It does if, you know, for example, it gets recorded or something similar.
We have no way of knowing.
No, but... So, yeah.
What did Ella say?
She asked... Sorry, go on.
I said that it did cost delirium, though, so if it really counted as...
But I still did it. In front of cameras.
So... Well, the brood doesn't stop you two from what you are about to do.
Taliesin
starts walking out with him.
Yes, as they get to the edge, and I assume they're still holding hands.
They are.
And he just says, "This is gonna hurt."
I'm not gonna let go, Tali.
With that, he nods, puts foot first into the silver,
and just goes rigid with horror because it is like for a human being to be enveloped in flames.
Yes, he immediately tenses up, and his scream is silent. It's so painful he can't even make sound come out.
Yeah. And he falls in.
Falls forward, yes, falls in.
Yeah. And again, every single second you are there, you take massive damage. Every single second you are there, it is healed. But it is literally being surrounded by liquid, unspeakable agony every second.
Yep.
I think the grip in his hand will change for her to actually just cling on to him.
Yeah.
The second that they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't let go either.
No. What about the creature looks at Fenna and Liam as well in turn, as if it's awaiting their reaction or action.
Fenna looks at Liam. Fenna's very much not happy about the situation.
Liam returns to look, and he actually holds out a hand for her. Wanna go in together?
Alright.
Gotta strip first.
The brood,
I will let my clothes get silvered.
The brood looks at Fenna first. You are frightened.
I don't like silver.
You are wise. What is your sin?
I failed to stop my pack mage from leaving Dublin, which led to the death of a cairn.
He looks to... He doesn't... I mean, that's the thing. He didn't do that with Taryn or Taliesin either. He doesn't speak judgment. He just listens to what your sin is. And then he looks to Liam and says, "And what is your sin?"
I failed to submit to a Garou of higher station than myself.
Very well. Fenna Mortensen, Liam Kavanagh. Enter the river and be purged.
Liam waits for Fenna.
I don't think Erebus will get any high reviews from Terran when they get back.
Oh yeah, the accommodations.
Don't go bathing there.
The accommodations sucked. There was no catering. Room service was horrible and not on time, and the bathing
and the water was too fucking hot.
Yes,
the receptionist was unhelpful. The lifeguard didn't do his job properly.
The water was too hot. They just stood there and looked.
So,
oh my god, yes. Sorry.
This is like getting underwater at the beach, right? It's easy if you do it fast.
Just bomb it. Just run it and bomb.
That's what I was getting at. That Finn is probably going to do. Just jump in instead of taking it slow.
Taryn was gonna make a bomb, but then she realized that Tally was going in and thought, well, I should at least hold his hand. I was kind of the reason.
It's very kind of you.
Yes. So you go in as well.
Yep.
But quickly.
Yep.
Yes.
Bomb away!
None
and then
of
all
you.
the other guests are gonna complain.
None of you have any concept of time while you're in there.
No.
You have utterly no idea how long you are in there. It takes the shortest of moments, and then your entire world is made up of pain and agony, the likes of which you didn't even have imaginations to believe could exist up until that point. And it lasts for however long. It feels like ages. But then again, when you are in a lot of pain, everything feels like ages. So you
feels like hours.
You really have no idea. Your sense of time's passing is totally busted. But eventually, you are all washed up on the opposite bank of. You're all washed up on the opposite bank of the river from where you went in. You are all stark naked. The silver has destroyed anything you wore. And you are but you are up on the beach, and the pain is still raw, still fresh, but by now it's only the spray from the river, and because you've just gotten out of there and you're twitching and you're shuddering from muscle memory of this sheer agony, every little one of those sprays is just, it's torturous.
Harry lets go of Tally, finally.
Yeah.
Gets up and starts crawling away from the river.
Yeah, Tally doesn't even have the strength for that. He drags himself, sort of Darth Vader out of the volcano style, just drags himself bit by bit away.
Then Taryn starts to stand up, finds out that's not a good idea, then goes back down and starts crawling again. She doesn't even care she's naked. She'll agonize over having left the flashlight on the other side. Later.
Yeah. I think Finn is too preoccupied being in pain and getting away from the river Silver to realize that she's naked.
At least the river was considerate enough to spit us all up at the same time.
Yeah, that's surprising, kind of.
We weren't really Black Spiral dancers, so we can hope it didn't take 3,000 years.
So how long do you reckon it takes us all to get out of range of the silver spray?
Not long. Not long. It's maybe it takes about a couple of minutes, because you're weakened, and you're in, as I said, you're still twitching all over, because every breath reminds you of the river. And I mean, obviously, while you are in the river, you are drowning in it as well. The pain is not just external, you are literally swallowing silver. And so however long you have been in there for, it takes more than just a few seconds to recover after that kind of agony.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a moment while I purge.
Yeah.
So at least when out of the immediate cause of further pain, Taliesin then finally spins over on his back, even though the skin is still raw and sensitive, and just enjoys the fact that he's feeling soreness rather than full-on pain, and is just weeping with relief.
Taryn just flops down where she ended up.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me we won't be going through that again anytime soon.
What? You don't like a deep cleanser?
Ow.
Yes, ow, exactly.
This is a spa. I'm never going to one again. Ow.
What if this is also the only way back?
Shut up.
Finna, shut up. Turn.
Yes.
Throwing.
I'm going to throw you into the river.
Yeah, weakly Taliesin holds up her hand and a finger and just says, "I've never had a cold sore, but I think this is what it's like to have a cold sore everywhere." Sweet.
You do know cold sores are herpes, right?
That's why I said I've never had them.
Taryn sits up, finally, looking around. Well, lupus from now on, then. It's dark naked.
Yeah.
Something with fur, yeah.
I don't even care. She flops back.
Tally sits up. On a different shore. All my stuff's out there somewhere.
Well, look at the bright side. They can look at the Remington you put down and all the guns they left over there.
I don't know. Storyteller, do we feel different apart from the pain?
How?
Do we feel lighter? Do we feel emotionally less
Sinful.
Yes?
Well, sin is not necessarily something you carry around as a physical weight, you know.
No, I suppose it can't be. It can't all be like.
Less inclined to make dirty jokes, anything.
I don't consider that sin. I consider that good sense of humor.
No, in that case, yeah. Basically, we've just gone through amount of suffering equal to what we've already done, and then that's it. We can continue. We can continue doing what we've done before. It just means we get a fresh slate, and then if the sin accrues again, we just come back here for another dip.
Hell no.
You as you are sitting there on the river, or on the bank, you see two shapes come out of the mist from the spray. Walking towards you along the banks.
Taryn just looks up.
Well, one of them is a little girl, probably around 11. The other is Aaron.
That actually gets that gets Taliesin to try and stagger to his feet.
Taryn gets up to him. Aaron?
Her jaw
Why did you
dropped.
steal a little girl?
The little girl looks like she doesn't recognize most of you, but she does recognize Liam.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah, that's baby girl.
So, I think the word dumbstruck is a thing.
Yeah, probably.
Followed by a surprised smile.
Yeah.
Followed quickly by Liam. Total meltdown.
Yeah.
Aww.
And he reaches out for her.
She runs over to him and gives him a tight hug, falls around his neck, and gives him a tight hug, and just shakes all over with relief at seeing him. And does he return the hug?
Yep.
Yep, he does. And your hands are wet. You realize that she's not there, and you're looking at your own hands covered in blood, and she's on the floor, and you're right back where you were that night. It's right there in front of you.
Do we see the same when he does this?
You just know what you see is that he's hugging her.
Okay.
And that's it.
Liam just releases. He screams in frustration and remorse and all the feelings he's felt since he committed that horrible crime.
Yeah. As you do so, of course, you relive the moment where you then fled from the situation and the scene, again being first change and all that shit, you know. But what you get this time is that you see yourself fleeing. Now you see what happens next in the room where you just left. Namely your parents and your older sister bursting through the door to see the devastation. And you see their reaction.
Oh boy.
And it is exactly what you would imagine.
Yeah.
It is, if you have a soul, it is utterly heartbreaking to see. In your head, you keep hearing two voices as you are experiencing all of this. One of them is your sister's saying, "I know you didn't mean to." And the other is your younger sister saying that, and the other is your older sister saying, "Why did you do it?"
At this point, I think Liam just sits there staring into nothing really.
Yeah.
And he's staring at whatever he's witnessing.
Yeah.
But for the others, he's just staring into thin air, and I think he just says in a low voice, "You were my greatest sin."
You hear that unmistakable voice of one of the brood saying, "Then you must be purged." And the rest of you see Liam standing up. The little girl vanishes. Liam stands up and walks back into the river. The other three. In the meantime, Aaron walks up to you and smiles and says, "It's good to see you again."
Taryn can't even find the words.
No, can finna. Maybe find the words, can find the words.
Why are you here? What do you have to show us?
Well, I suppose, he says, and smiles that crooked smile that Aaron always had. A slightly cocky smile that he had. Yes. I suppose I wanted to see how you were doing. You're a few persons short compared to when last I saw you.
We lost Shiva down here.
And we failed to avenge you.
And Connell.
Oh, fuck him.
Bitch. You can...
Shut up, disembodied voice of Shiva, you're dead.
Connell left chose his own path. I guess you would probably have liked that.
Yes, I would. I would. He says and puts his arms around Tally. As you were my best friend. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Tally returns the embrace.
It's all right. He says it's all right. It was fast enough. It didn't take long. He reaches out, sort of like with his arms, sort of to give everyone a hug.
Terry just walks into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finna too.
Yeah.
Come and embrace our greatest sin, guys.
It's okay.
Make it through, Pop.
It's okay. It's all right. You weren't there. It's fine. And as you stand there, frozen for a moment, you all see through Aaron's eyes how he's just walking around this very sparsely populated, or not populated, but furnished, well, populated as well, sparsely furnished flat that he had in what's it called, in Ranelagh or Rathmines. And he's using his cell phone. He's texting someone. Presumably, he's texting one of you. And suddenly, he stops mid-text. He's like writing something, and then you can see he's listening for something. And he moves over to the window, and he looks out, and there's a car parked outside, but there's he can't see anyone. Or anything, but he seems, you can sense his primal urge is telling him that something isn't quite right. So he heads out through the kitchen and down the stairs to the floor downstairs, and he turns around just in time to see the door get kicked in, and a flood of people are pouring towards him. He instantly changes to Krynos and starts laying into them, and he is tearing people to pieces while he gets fired at, he gets shot at with various kinds of firearms. He gets pushed back, literally. It's the weight of people is so great that he gets pushed up the stairs to upstairs to through the kitchen. He leaves a wake of corpses, the same corpses that you found there. When he gets to the kitchen, he picks up one of the chairs, literally smashing it over the head of one of these vampires that launches itself at him. And as this creature is completely dazed, he reaches down and literally pulls its head off its shoulders. And just as he looks up from this fairly gruesome and grisly deed, he looks straight up into the grinning, sadistic smile of Victoria holding, or Molly as it is, holding a large caliber pistol. And there's a moment where it feels like everything is moving in slow motion as she fires, and this silver slug tears through his body. And it staggers him for a moment, and before he manages to unstagger, she's fired 3 more times. He stumbles into the next room, still manages to rip another vampire to pieces on the way. Molly doesn't follow closely. She waits until he is in the next room, and he is breathing heavily, trying to catch his breath, with the silver is still in his body. And she just shakes her head looks at him and goes, "Bad dog." And she shoots one more time, and he falls backwards onto the couch in the position that you found him. And you have a clear sense that one of the last emotions that runs through him is, what about the others?
Even in death you thought of us. We couldn't even succeed in ending in taking revenge on your killer.
You hear the voice of the voice of one of the brood saying, "Then enter the river and be purged." And you all feel the pain again. Just as bad, just as horrendous. And you know what, guys? We're going to stop there until next time.
I was going to say something poetic, but fair enough.
We're going to leave you in the Silver River until next time.
That old familiar feeling.
Very cool. Very cool.
That is...
Spoke of a storyteller.
Sorry, what?
Nothing.
Okay, oh, sorry. I didn't hear what you said. That's all. I thought I heard the word storyteller, but that's all.
As a sadistic fuck of a storyteller.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm evil.
Why she went nothing afterwards.
Yeah.
This is what Erebus does, over and over and over and over and over again, until you've dealt with your sins.
There's a reason why the Guru consider this their own special version of hell.
Yeah, it is. And that was some pretty fucking awesome role playing for tonight. So you get 3 XP. And by the way, I'm just pointing this out to you. Please remember to include the fact that you have bathed in the Silver River in your respective bragging whenever you finally get to that, because that is a thing.
Have we just type it in now?
We went through the Silver River to get Raven back.
Yep.
I mean, that does make it sound much more epic.
Anyone who endures Erebus is due a renown reward. It is considered extraordinarily honorable to do.
Passed through the Silver River of Erebus.
Joan.
Yes.
Could I convince you to make me a character sheet on Roll20?
Oh, haven't I? That's.
I don't think so, at least.
Well, take a.
Oh, and you've moved Shiva, so.
Yes, I have in fact moved Shiva because, well, she dead.
She's an ex-Wolfie.
She dead.
Could we just reanimate her and have her be like a half, like a zombie guru something?
Please no, because then we will never leave the fucking Erebus.
Take a look. You should have access now.
Thank you. Yeah, I can hear it too.
I've not switched off my microphone this time,
No,
so.
it's fine.
But okay.
How much experience do we have, guys?
74, I think.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Aww. Now my perfect 1771 is gone.
This was much fun. However gruesome it ended up being, it was much fun. But I do hear sniffling here.
Yeah.
Let's just say that Taryn's excitement has vanished.
Oh, the poor thing.
He's just like, we found Erebus! Wait, we have to go through it?
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask here, Hele, are you alright?
I was about to say that part of the sniffling comes from the fact that I've just had to mute my mic because I was sneezing.
Okay, good, because it's like, okay, it sounds distinctly sniffly.
I was just sneezing, so...
good, okay, good.
Yeah, it's that kind of sniffles.
Yeah.
It was.
I had to mute because I were kinda. Oh.
Yes. God damn it, Rasmus. Oh,
Sorry.
no, you're not.
Well,
I know you're
well,
not really.
If you
Why
want,
is it his
you
fault?
can. I mean, if you want, you can petition with Joan to have a morose zombie Shiva following you around making dark jokes.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't do that because that things that walks again are very tainted, and I do not want to spend 3,000 years down here.
Okay.
Oh, fuck,
Speaking of which,
I just realized what the last thing Finna said to Shiva was.
mhm.
You're horrible right now.
Aw.
That's true. That was the last thing you said to her.
That's going to be a
What?
sin. That's a sin that needs to be cleansed.
What did you tell her?
You're
Well-
horrible right now.
Yeah, she said to I think it was to Taryn that she said, don't encourage her, she's horrible right now. And then she turned to Shiva, who was after all standing right beside them, and said, you're horrible right now.
Yeah. That
Well,
was
she
the
was.
last. That was the last thing she heard from any of you. Ooh, that's another. That's another another sin that needs to be burned out. I also need a
Yes.
few. I also need a few more pieces of information from you, Heine, before we play next time about his background. Just a couple
Sure,
of things.
sure.
So.
do we... Weird question. Does bathing in the Silver River give us back any kind of gnosis or rage or willpower or anything like that?
It burns every single point of gnosis out of you.
Well, shit.
great.
That
Why did
makes
you have to
sense.
ask?
Well, you would have been told when you get out of there anyway. I mean, contact with silver lowers your gnosis. This is more than just contact with silver. This is immersion in the stuff.
Yeah, I can't seem to get rid of my... I can't clear my permanent... my temporary gnosis by the look of it.
No,
Can we
no,
clear my
it's-
permanent gnosis.
It's fine. That said, guys, I'm going to stop the recording for now, and then if there are any more questions, we'll deal with that. Okay?
Sure.
Right. Well, for our listeners, please do tune in next time. Same Guru channel, same Guru time, and all that shit. To see what happens with our flailing foursome hanging around.
Don't say it like that. That's also please.
The flailing foursome hanging out in the Silver River.
Oh, that's a horrible name.
I people like that.
Especially considering that 3 out of 4 members of said foursome are underage.
You guys have the dirtiest possible mind. Good grief.
You said foursome!
Also, speaking, strictly speaking, they're not below the age of consent by Irish law. That's 16.
Okay.
But all right, all right, guys. We will stop the recording here and see you next time. So bye.
Bye.
Bye.